to this show. I'm very happy to see everyone here today, and very excited. I'm very glad that you all could make it. And of course, if you haven't been to my show or you haven't watched me, this is a show where I provide resources to help SMEs or medium, and small and medium-sized enterprises thrive. All right. And so I provide resources and then also bring people on to also help to provide additional resources. And I bring people on sometimes to ask questions and even other people to provide those resources. Now, there are times that people send in questions and I also respond on this platform. So the goal, of course, is just not to make an SME survive or exist, or it just is to make the SME what thrive, the small and medium-sized enterprise, to make them thrive. All right. So that's the goal. I have another interesting topic today, and the topic today is using professional networking to grow your small business or your SME. Using professional networking to grow your business or your small business, right? Now, you know, I actually indicated it's professional networking because, of course, we know that there's social networking, right? Now, I'm really looking at professional networking. And so, what is really networking, right? Is when you just come together, exchange information, right? And just have that kind of, excuse me, relationship with your sorry, sorry about that. So have that kind of just meet up with people professionally and have that kind of relation. Wow, sorry again. Thought my tea could help, but I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, I think I'm good now. So come together and then um, just get to know people on at your professional level, and that's the goal of networking. Come together, and when you meet people, coming together means meeting people and just getting to know them. And of course, in your professional line, of course, would be related to what you currently do, right? It could be people that are into sales like you, but potentially I would say networking that would benefit your business, right? Right? What is it that who are you networking with? So networking is actually, as I said, coming together professionally where you share. I mean, your business cards or just getting to know the person, so that usually it's because you want referrals or you want the person to use what you can offer, right? So, and there's so many networking groups, so many out there, right? So it's actually a very great way of doing organic marketing. I actually recommend that. Of course, I said it's for informative and educative purposes only. But yeah, it's just a way of getting your name out there, your brand out there. Okay, so if you want to go with the path of networking, I would first of all, the first step, what you need to do first of all is that just say that yes, I'm really going to network. This is 2024. I'm doing that this year. I want to determine that you're going to network. You're going to be part of a networking group. You know, make sure that you determine to do that. The reason why I'm saying that is that you have to make sacrifices to be able to be part of that group. What kind of sacrifices? You have to attend. You have to attend. You have to, use your time. So you have to say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to make those sacrifices. So first of all, you have to determine that you're going to be part of it, because if you want to really network, you have to show up. You have to show up. You can't just say, yeah, I'm going to belong to a networking group. Nobody knows that you're there. So let's you have to decide that, you know what, I'm going to show up, I'm going to be part of a networking group. Okay, that's the very first step. The second step is research the best fit. Now, as I said, there are so many networking groups out there, professional networking groups, so many out there, but you have to determine, right? Yes, you have decided that you're going to attend. The next step is to research which one works for you. All right, which one works for you. All right, and which one works for you determines on what works for you determines your objectives. All right, for example, you might want to get into a networking group that will really educate you more in your professional field, or your your business field, right? You want to might say, okay, you want to know more, you just got into this field, you want to know more, then you research and say, okay, you might say networking group that is specific to your industry. Or you might say, you know what, the goal is to build my client base, build my customer base, right? So you have to say, what is it? How do you do that? Right? I know that social media is great, but a lot of times people referrals through networking can really be an amazing way to grow your business, right? Because people get to know you, people understand that this is the person that they're related with, this is someone that they can trust. So the second step is research what best fits you. What are your objectives, or what is your objective for getting into that networking group? The goal here, right? I mentioned professionally, when it comes to the knowledge base for your industry. That's actually also a way to grow your business, because you might say, you know what, I don't know all the areas that could benefit. Maybe you don't know what others are using. For example, you might go get into your industry, or that industry. Let me give you, maybe you're into, let's say you're into event planning, for example. And you might say, okay, you know what, I want to get to know other event planners to see how do they maybe is there any new technology they're using? Is there any new, I mean, it could be anything. New technology is one of them. It's one of them. Maybe there's something out there that is new. So is a way of growing your business. Or you could go the other way and say, okay, I want to get into a networking group that actually would align with what I'm doing. Sometimes somebody might get into a networking group that's all about weddings. Maybe you're an event planner, so you get into a networking group that talks about weddings, right? For example, or parties, or events that you could link up with a photographer, with someone that is into catering, things like that. So you have to research what is the best fit. What are you looking for, right? Of course, as I said, both sides, as I said, would grow your business, but you have to look at what works, all right? Which one based on your objective. Maybe you already have a group that is talking about weddings and all that stuff, and or events, and you're looking at, okay, I really want to know more to see. I'm not very good with technology. I want to know what is the best technology out there, or what are the best vendors that I can use to make sure that my event planning business goes, thrives, not only survives, right, or exists. All right. Now, the third step is that, actually, I should have actually said we have 10, but I'm just going to continue in that line. The third step is, how do you remember effective using professional networking to grow your business? Thirdly, is that you have to learn to be polite and personable. The great thing about the networking group is that, I mean, people come there to just really get into good relationships with people. And the only way you can do that, I mean, I wouldn't refer anybody to somebody that I can't relate with, that I can't talk to. That person is rude. The person is not polite. The person, you can't even, I mean, the person cannot relate with others. For example, even if you point out that this person, that the person made a mistake somewhere, the person actually argues and argues and argues and argues. And I mean, I personally would not refer anybody to such a person. So we're on the other side. We are talking about ourselves, that we have to make sure, when we're looking at networking, you have to make sure that polite, make sure that also you're personable. You have to make sure that you're approachable, right? I mean, you have to really make sure so that people can actually say, okay, yeah, let me network, let me get to know you, let me know who this person is. All right. That's the only way you can actually have that relationship, that person being personable. Because if I don't have that person, I mean, if I can't relate with you, personable, if I can't relate with you, if you're not polite, I cannot have the relationship of referring people to you. Because anybody I refer to you means that you're going to be rude to the person. It means that you can even be unreasonable. And I don't want that person to come back to me and say, oh my goodness, why did you refer me to this person? All right. So you as a small business owner, you have to be polite and you have to be personable. All right. The fourth one is that you should think of others before yourself. What does that mean? Now, I would say as much as possible. Let's say you go into a networking group, maybe you've been there for a couple of weeks now, and you hear somebody needs maybe um, someone that is within the group that has that kind of skill set, right? Let's go back to the event planner, and you're an event planner, for example, and you get into, let's say, the all about weddings meeting networking group, and you find out that even though you're not planning this particular event, you heard that somebody is in need of a photographer, someone, yeah, and you walk up to the person and said, I need your help. I need you to help me to make sure that 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 this person is covered when it comes to their events. That this is just a friend of mine that wants to do this. Can you handle it? So remember, you are there because you want to network. You are there for referrals. But when you think of others, when this person that you've this person you give this, when you give the job to this particular person, of course, this person will be happy. And guess who he will think of or she will think of the next time that maybe somebody's looking at planning an event. So think of others, right? Think of what you can do for others, right? When you're looking at networking. Now, I have to really say this, that you have to be very careful. You have to also do your own research. Not because you want this person to refer clients to you or customers to you, that you won't do the research and say, okay, this person I'm trying to refer, is the person good at what he or she does? Okay, it's very important. You don't want to refer someone that is below standard in their job, right? In the work they do. So you need to do your own part and find out if this person is really someone you can refer. I'm not saying you should go and refer to everybody, but as much as possible, if somebody is good there and somebody is just new, and that you feel that the person has an opportunity to at least start off with this based on your referral, that's also fine, right? That's also fine. But hopefully the person knows what he or she is doing. But there are people already that have been there for some time, but you know that they are not very good in what they do, even though they're part of your networking group. That's not the person you refer. All right. So the fourth point is think of others. Think of others before you think of yourself when it comes to these networking groups, right? Think of others. When you're helpful or you're blessing to others, it comes back to you. So just think of others. That's the way to go when it comes to, things like that, right? Getting to be in a networking group, then making sure that you're a polite person, and one also, giving, referring to others. Let others see that you're referring them. All right. The fifth aspect is, or the fifth point is, get involved. Get involved. Don't be a bench warmer. What does that mean? Don't just sit down and not do anything. You might not want to be involved. You might not want to really be involved. It could be the president, the vice president, things not like that. But some people say, you know what, I'm just so busy. Then get involved, do something. Maybe be part of a committee. Maybe they have a Christmas party coming up, or a Thanksgiving party, or end of year celebration. Get into the committees. if you're that kind that says, you know what, I don't want to have the responsibility of being the president or vice president or treasurer. If you want that responsibility, that's fine. I'm not saying you should not do that. But I'm saying that when it comes to these organizations, look for a way of being involved. Be involved, you know, be there, make sure that, be helpful, right? Let people see you. Some people belong to organizations and people really don't see them. People, because they don't really know. If you say, oh, I know this person, they said, oh, you really, no, I've never seen the person there before. So I would say that make sure that you are seen. How are you seen? By being involved in the organization. If you don't want the president, vice president, of course, if you want it, go ahead. But if not, look for ways to get involved. I know some organizations or some organization web or some networking platforms, they have so many things that there's so many programs that come up in the year. So, I mean, look at the time that it's not so busy for you and just tap in and just let people get to know you, get to know your name, let people get to know you. All right. So that's the fifth, right? Now, the sixth step is to be direct. What do I mean by be direct? Some people are just there, oh yeah, refer me. What is it that you actually need? What is it? Let people understand your services, right? Maybe you're the kind that you don't really, maybe, yes, you can do, maybe people see that, okay, maybe your event, and for example, going back to an event planner, and you just, you're specific and you only plan weddings. That's what you do. Let people know what you do. Now, if you're an event planner, you plan everything. That's fantastic. That's fine. But some people are very narrow when it comes to, they are very specific. Should I say they're specific? When I say they are, will I say specific? Some people are very, they have very, should I say, well, they have a very small niche. That's what I say, niche that, very tight. Even if they're event planners, for example, like I said, they might just focus on weddings. Now, if you're that kind of event planner, that's fine, but let people know what you do, right? Some people that maybe they sell products for kids, right? Let it be that this product they sell for kids. This product they sell for kids. They might say, okay, I sell toys. Some people say I sell things like what toiletries for kids. Be direct. Because if you're not direct, if there's so much ambiguity, you're wasting your time. And I mean, you want walking into that place, you want to make sure that as you network, you want to make sure that it's productive. It's not, this is not, yes, it can be a social gathering. I mean, when I say speak, I mean, knowing people, talking about general things. I'm not saying that might be okay. In addition to being professional networking, you might add on that is a place that you can also socialize. But your main objectives is what? Objectives is your professional networking, and that's what you want to be, and that's what you want to do, right? You want to make sure that everybody knows who you are, what you're expecting, right? Everything is, there's no ambiguity. All right. Okay. The next, which is number 7, is that don't overlook anyone. Don't feel that, oh, this person, what can this person offer, right? Because you might be surprised, this specific person in this networking group might not have, maybe his or her business might not be that big, but because of they know people that, they might not even know so many, but you just need a couple of breakthroughs and you'll be very, very, very fine. Maybe one great breakthrough. You hear about the accounts of these very successful people, and one of the things you see is that, some of them will say, oh, just a couple of people believed in me, one person believed in me, right? So you want to make sure that you don't overlook anyone, because that person could say, okay, could hear somewhere that they need someone in your industry, and then, I mean, they actually mention your name. So it's very important that you do not overlook anyone. Now, when I'm saying do not overlook anybody, I know I'm not talking about people that are not I'm not talking about people that look down or mean, or they are meaner, but they are mean. No, I'm not talking about that kind of overlook. No. I'm talking about people myself. They are nice, they are polite, personable, and they're nice to this person, but they feel that there's no need for them to let them know what they're actually expecting, because they feel that this person cannot do, or cannot bring in the kind of customer and client that person needs, all right, or that person is expecting, all right. So that's what I'm saying when I say don't overlook. I'm not saying that that you are looking at, the person as someone that is a bad person. Okay. So when I won't say bad, someone that you're demeaning the person. No, that's not what I'm saying. No, you're very nice and polite, as we said, but you don't feel that that person cannot bring to the table someone that you need, because that person might pass by someone that mentioned that, oh, they need someone in your industry. So again, do not overlook, do not overlook anyone. Okay. Now the eighth step, we're talking about professional networking. Please bring your business card. Always carry it on you. Sometimes I leave it in the car. Some of them I leave some of my business cards in the car, because I want to make sure I have it around me at all times, right? You can't come for a networking meeting without having a business card. Do not do that. Now, if you have, let's say you found out that, oh, there's a networking meeting today, there's no, I'm out of business cards. You actually have companies that can actually create your business cards in a day. In a couple of hours, they can do that. There are so many ways to get that done. So please, when we're talking about professional networking to grow your business, you have to using professional networking to grow your business, your small business. Carry your business cards. All right. If you have one event this evening and you say, oh my goodness, I don't have that business card, make sure, do your best. I think, as I said, you can get it done in a couple of hours. I think you can even create it on a platform. There are ways to go about that. You just need to Google and get that done. But make sure you carry as many business cards as possible. This is going back to people might think that at that time they might not need you, but all of a sudden, oh yeah, I need this person, and I have someone that called me after how many years, because of networking. It was about 4 years later, because of networking. And the person said, oh, they remember, oh yes, I want to talk, want to speak to me about some accounting and tax issues. And I was surprised, because I've not spoken to this person in a couple of years. And he said, oh yeah, I had some issues on my accounting and taxing. I said, oh yeah, I'll give you a call. Give me a call. Yeah. And that's how we connected again. And I was able to help this person with the questions that they needed resolved. All right. So please carry as your business card, where carry them with you. All right. Okay. There's a way you can even make it electronic and send it to who you want to send it to. But as anyhow you want to do it, make sure you carry your business cards. I've gone to events and I've asked someone, well, do you have your business cards with you? Oh my goodness, it's all finished. But in my mind, I said, okay, yeah, I understand that. And I said, but you're coming to this kind of event, you should carry your business card with you. All right. Now, the next is the next step, right, is being wise, and also cutting your losses. Why am I saying cutting your losses? Now, if you come to this networking meeting, you spend a couple of weeks, maybe, and you feel that it's not working. Maybe you did your research and you find out that this is not working for me. This is not working for me. Then, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to move on. I'm not saying you should drop every networking group. No. If you go to a networking group and you might spend a couple of days. Some networking groups they meet once a week. Some meet once a month. Even you go there, you meet, you find out that this is not really what I expected, from their website, from everything. I thought this was going to be better and it's not working for me. Please, there's no need to waste any more time. Go back and do more research and get the one that works for you. All right. And even as we said, even if as I'm saying here, you should move on. I still want to stress that don't overdo it. Right? I'm not saying you should have a networking group, you attend so many in a week, because you still have to work. You still have to um, develop your product, right? You want to make sure that you have to have time to build yourself up. You have to have time to make sure that you're ready for growth. A lot of people um, run around with this networking group, which is very good, but when the actual customers come, even if it's from this networking group, because they didn't have time to continue to build their process, their business process. What happens is that when these people come around, and sales start hitting, you know, great numbers, you have to make sure that you're able to sustain those numbers. So I would say, as you're going to these networking groups, right? The step, you need to ensure that you have the ability to meet demand. All right, meet demand. The goal here is what? To grow your small business, right? That's why we're getting into networking, trying to make sure it works. Then yes, it works, right? It will work. Now, of course, when it works, you have to make sure you're ready to meet demand. Because imagine working so hard, right? And getting into getting the networking group to really trust you and involved, and you start getting referrals. You start getting referrals, like then you're unable to meet up. Personally, if I asked for a product, right, and you cannot meet up, of course, I'll give you time. Things happen, but you can't meet up because of you were not ready for demand. Then I'll think of taking my business somewhere. Now, if you have the product that takes maybe 2 weeks to order or something like that, let people know. Let people know. 2 weeks to get done. Let people know. And of course, as you're preparing for growth, I will look at speaking on that topic very soon, because how do you prepare for growth? What do you do? Making sure that you're ready for that growth, so that you won't lose the customers and clients you work so hard, to build, to get. All of a sudden, because you're not able to meet demand, everything, what does what? Your customers leave you. Everything, I won't say everything goes under. I don't want to say that. There's still room to get better. But I always say that prevention is better than cure. That's what I look at. So do the needful, and make sure that you have capacity to meet demand as you're anticipating growth. A lot of people will say, "Oh, but I'm not gotten to that level." No, no, no. You need to prepare for growth. You can't work on growing without preparing for that growth, without preparing for that capacity. All right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't do that, then there's no need to market. There's no need to look for ways to grow. There's no need. All right? So great. So again, as I said, move on. If you feel that this networking group is not good for you, is not the kind, it didn't meet your objectives. Of course, you have your objectives. Now, I would also say, in addition to that, continue to research the best fit. Now, as I said, don't overdo it, but it's okay to have more than one or two networking groups if you can accommodate that with your work, right? Some networking groups, again, once a month. You can combine that with one as weekly, but it just depends on what works for you. As maybe have a team, right? Maybe you can go with that person, a leading person. But usually in small businesses, it's very important for the owner of the company to show up. All right. The goal is for you, the owner of the company, to show up. Now, as your business expands, you might have somebody in charge of marketing. That's also good. But when you get involved in organizational positions and things like that, it's better for you as the business owner to be part of these positions and or be helpful and let people know you, right? You're not going to be a bench warmer to get what you're looking for, right? That's it for people to trust you, to say, you know what, I'm going to give my um, business to you. I'm going to send people to you, right? Oh, I like how you are. I want to send people to you. I mean, and somebody will say, but how does being polite? Why? I mean, how many? Does that mean that if somebody is personable, does it mean the person is very good in their business? Well, usually when people are personable, people are willing to take the risk and say, okay, you know what? And because of this person, how the person is, I'm going to try this person. All right. All right. Then number 10. Okay. Number 10 is continue to reach out to the right contacts. Now, even in this group, there might be a couple of them. I mean, I attended a group before and I wasn't really impressed with the gathering, but there was one person there that we kept in touch. In fact, we became family friends, right? His family and mine, we kept in touch, right? Because of the way that person was, right? So really respected this individual in this group. And after, I mean, from there, as I said, we got to know each other with the families, and I mean, our spouses met. All of we became very good friends, right? Right, because of this 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 build continuing to reach out, right? Continuing to reach out with the right contacts. So it's very important that you know that, okay, yes, this might not work. This committee might not, or this networking group is not going to work for me. But there's certain people I identify with. So because of that, I'm going to collect this person's information, and then you continue to reach out to that person. All right, all right. So the goal is to get into networking. This is early in 2024. Get into networking is very good. When you get into networking, making sure that people, um, get to know you, right? You're attending, people get to know you, right? And as I said, when I started this, you have to determine that you're going to be part of a networking group. Determining means that you have to create time, right? You have to create time. Now, I know things come up, I know that, but let people get to know that you are the one that is there and that you're available. So when they don't see you, so where is this person? Oh yeah, something came up. And if you can't attend, let be if you're not like on the head committee, you can let them know. But even if you're on the head committee, let them know that, oh yes, you couldn't make it there today because of this, that. All right, if one reason or the other. All right. So let's think of this 2024 and think of joining a networking group. Um, and see how you grow your business. Of course, the list is not exhaustive, and this list might not apply to everyone, but this is just for general information. But the most important thing is that get your brand out there, let people know who you are, let people know what you do, let people see that you are someone that is personable and polite, and then also let people, I mean, put reviews out there, let people read about you. People know you, read about you, right? Right? It's very, very important. All right. So let's go to our questions. Okay. So the first question is, I have so many goals, business goals I want to achieve in 2024. How do I prioritize? Well, kudos that you want to achieve a lot of goals. I would say, first of all, write down what you want to achieve. What are the goals actually, right? Business goals. A lot of times you just feel, oh, you have to, I want to make profit. I want to do this. What does that mean? How do you want to make that profit? So set things, or you want to, it's because you remember to make um, profit at the end of the day, good profit, you can go by increasing your your revenue, right? Your sales, or decreasing your expenses. So how are we going to do that? right? So first of all, write your goals down. Very, very, very important. Write your goals down. What are you doing? What are you expecting? What are you doing? And I would say break your goals down. And maybe you might break your goals down by quarter. But it would be, sometimes people even break it down by weeks, week or months, okay? Months, week, depending on what works for you. Then look at all the goals you have written down, even before you put them into months and all that, but just write the goals down first. You have to look at which one is urgent, which one is important. You might say all the goals are important. You might say everything is urgent, right? Everything is urgent, everything is important. All right. But I would say that which one is like in descending order. This is more important than that. That is more important than this. This is more important than that. Descending order. All right. So that is what I would look for, right? What is it that you are? What is the most important? What is urgent and what is the most important? Right? And set it up like that. And then you start tackling them one by one when you go that route, right? And then how do you tackle them? How long will it take to achieve that? And then, of course, you set milestones. Milestone is set that by this time I want to achieve this. And then you just check, you do a check. If you haven't achieved that, you look at ways to, fix or find out why you haven't achieved it and look at ways to fix the process of achieving that goal. All right. Okay, look for ways to fix that process of achieving that goal. All right. The next question is, my company volunteers at the food bank once a month. May I deduct the time spent there as charitable donations? Well, services rendered under a volunteer platform, like you go there, those services, you cannot deduct the fair market value. If you actually want to see that as a charitable donation, you can't do that. But the mileage from there to, the mileage from there that is from your office location to the food bank and back, that expense can be deducted. All right, that expense can be deducted, right? And I know the IRS actually gives a rate, and I don't really get so caught up with the rate because sometimes they change, sometimes they don't change for the year. But just know that when you're talking about that charitable donations, when I charitable time, the volunteer time, that's not deductible, but the mileage, the time spent to get there and back, deductible. All right. All right. The next question is it better to maintain a hard copy of my business documents or an electronic copy? Now, I know that this show is watched by people that are not in the US, because SMEs is not only not they are what this show is watched by people in the US and those that are not. So I want to make sure that it's clear. Yes, the US people that are resident in the US and people that are outside the US can actually watch the program. So if somebody is outside the US, I would say it depends. I know many US companies actually allow you to store electronic copies, but outside the US, I think it just depends. So even in the US, you have to know, right, which one is allowed. But I know that a lot of companies, a lot of government agencies now allow electronic copy storage, a lot of electronic storage. Now, if you want to maintain the hard copy, please go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not advising that you should, shred your hard copy and focus on electronic copy. I'm just saying that I find maintaining documents in electronic copies easier for me. I know that the governing bodies I work with, they allow the electronic copies. If they have questions, I can always pull out an electronic copy. Now, the reason why I love storage and electronic copy is because it's easy to access those copies. Because when I store, you can store them by folder. easy for me to go to that folder and then look at my folder and download it. And I look for that document, because it's labeled. I can say that that document is stored, alphabetically, maybe by dates. So for me, it's easier to retrieve those documents. All right, it's easier to retrieve those documents. So I just feel that that is for me. But again, you have to understand where. Just depends on where you what what the governing body says. There's some I believe there's some countries, or there are some places that that hard copy is required, right? And so it's very important for you to know. And of course, if you're not sure, it's very important for you to work with a professional. When you work with a professional will say, okay, yes, this is what the law says here. It's okay for you to, shred this. I know also here, there's even a period of time that you have to maintain copies of certain documents. All right. So just make sure that you make your consult. Make sure you, when I say consult with the professional that you're working with, right? I've always said that it's so important for you to work with a professional, because of the need to make sure that you are compliant. We know that ignorance of the law is no excuse. I am not an attorney. I will stress that, but I know that it's not an excuse when you actually go against the law. So that's why I said, please, as much as possible, find out which one works for you, compliant wise, right? Now, if you have the choice and say, okay, you can use a hard copy or electronic copy. It also depends on what works for you. I know some people are still caught up with, or they want to store things in boxes. They want to store things in um um in cabinets, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong. You want to do that, right? But I found out that for me, it's easier for me to navigate, right? If somebody says I want this, it's easier for me to navigate. All right. All right. Let's see if we can answer one more question, or do we have enough time? Okay. Let me just say a few things before. I don't think I want to answer one more. I want to just continue to encourage everyone here that um you should really look into your industry. Make sure that you are networking. In addition to networking with people that bring customers and clients, I would say that make sure you're also networking with people that are in your industry, because there are so many new things out there, which will benefit your your company, right? Your industry. And if you don't know, you don't know, right? It's important. Some people don't attend meetings. They just feel that, okay, that they're too busy. Yes, you can be busy, but it's very important for you to understand what is the trend, what's happening, right, in your industry. So I would say that as much as possible, connect with people in your industry, right, and find out what are the new regulations, how that works, what are some of the changes, and make sure that you are compliant, number one. And number two, in addition to being compliant, also look at the other side. A lot of times we focus on compliance. What about the benefits? Sometimes if you don't know, you can't benefit from some of these provisions that are there out there, right? So you want to make sure that you are aligning yourself with your industry, and also talking to your accountant, your CPA, just to make sure that those benefits out there, and you're also getting it. And of course, just to make sure that I'm reminding everybody, of course, if you do not have a CPA working with you, of course, you can always reach out to my practice, and we'll do the needful and work with you, right? We're happy to take you in as our clients. The website is, you can go to this website, the driniadesina.com. Go to that website, and then, of course, we direct you on how to come to the CPA website, where we can set up consultation and just help you to thrive. The goal, remember, is not just to make We just don't want your SMEs to survive and just exist. We want to make sure that as much as possible it thrives, right? This is not, I mean, of course, we cannot address everything here, but we will do our best if you don't have a CPA working with you, all right? And as always, make sure that you know this, or just to reiterate this, that you have to be intentional, right? You have to be intentional if you want your SME or small medium enterprise or small medium businesses to thrive. Thank you for being here. I know you could have spent your evening doing something else, but thank you for being part of this program. See you next time. Bye for now.